everybody, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Katie, and today I am doing the Carol of the Books tag. So this tag was created by one of my amazing friends, Holly, over at Lovely Day with Holly. You should definitely check out her channel. But she tagged me in her post, and thankfully I did rearrange my schedule and I was able to fit this into my bookmas video. So I'm very happy because I wanted to do this tag so much. So I am happy. So I did not pick books ahead of time, technically, because as I was typing them out this morning and printing them out, I actually came up with books on the fly. So hopefully I remember which ones I thought of as I was typing them out. So I have the questions printed out here. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first question is, it came upon a midnight clear, a nighttime scene on the cover. So I actually see one that actually works. That's right in front of me on my book card, which could work. I mean, it is heading toward nighttime. It's like that it could be a sunset or a sunrise. I feel like it's more of a sunset feel. So this could work for a nighttime scene. What else is nighttime? This could be a nighttime scene. I haven't read it yet, but this is a duology and it's called Devil Darling Spy, and that kind of looks like a night scene on the cover. Or it could be like very early sunrise, but that could be close to nighttime. See if this one is. This one could be nighttime. I mean, it does have storm clouds, but it could be close to nighttime. So there's a few there that could work for nighttime. I don't have one I don't think that's specifically nighttime. I actually did find one. I forgot about this one. So this one would totally work. This is definitely a night scene. And that's One Night Enchanted by Claire Delacroix. And that is definitely a moon up there. That is totally a night scene in the background. So we're counting that. Question 2 is O Little Town of Bethlehem, set in a small town. So I do probably have a lot of small town books. I believe this series by Maple Run series by Toni Shiloh, I believe these are, I know in the first book, she lives in Washington, D.C., but they go to a small town where the restaurant is in these books. So I believe this is set in a small town. I feel like Dear Henry, Love Edith by Becca Kinzer. I believe this is honestly a small town. I can't remember where it's located, but it just feels like a small town because everybody knows each other, everybody with the town gossip and everything. See, a small Midwestern town, it says right on the back. So that is definitely a small town. Okay, question number 3 is Joy to the World, a global setting. Global setting. Okay, I did think of one before I started filming and now I forgot. Now I remembered what I was going to pick for that. So I'm going to pick Journey to the Center of the Earth by Jules Verne. I mean, how close can you get to a global setting? I mean, they travel from England to Iceland to literally the center of the earth. Like, you can't get more global setting than that, that's for sure. So I'm going to pick Journey to the Center of the Earth by Jules Verne. And yes, I have read it, so I had to switch to audio because the language in Jules Verne's book is very hard to understand for me, so an audio definitely helped. Question number 4 is Silent Night, an element of silence in the story. Yes, totally. Ella Enchanted by Gail Carson Levine. This works perfectly for this prompt because she has to obey everybody. So I feel like that works great for silence because she doesn't want to do other people's bidding. She wants to be silent and doesn't want to do it. So I feel that works out pretty good for that prompt. I was actually going to try to find a book with a deaf character, but I'm sure I do. I just can't think right now. But I feel like this kind of works with the silence part, no matter what she does, I don't think she's technically silent in the book, but I feel like she wants to be silent only because whenever somebody gives her a command, she has to obey it no matter what. And so, yeah, she's cursed by a mixed up fairy. So it's a good book if you never read it. Okay, so let's see. The next prompt is I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus, a married couple main character or characters. was trying to find it. I'm like, where is it? Because this is the first one that I thought of, is With Every Memory by Janine Rush. If you've never read this book, you need to. It's so good. And this is one of the only books where family drama is done extremely well, and I loved it. So yes, this one definitely has to deal with a husband and wife. They are going through some things, and then she has an accident in the car. I think the whole family's in the car. But her son passes away, and she loses the last 8 years of her life in memories. So really, really great story. Really loved it. So yeah, and that definitely works for a married couple. There aren't enough married couple books, if I'm being honest. Like, so many romance books out there are like before marriage and like nothing after. Like, you might see the wedding at the end, maybe if you're lucky. But I just feel like there's not enough of the married couple after. And so this was a really nice change of pace, and I really liked it. The next prompt is Away in a Manger, set on a farm or including farm animals. So funny story, though, about that Christmas carol, Away in a Manger. So as a baby, my mom keeps telling me this story, not all the time, but that is literally the only song that would help me go to sleep and stop crying. Literally. No matter what time of the year, Away in the Manger was the only thing that my mom could sing to me without me crying. So yeah, it's hopefully my future child doesn't do that, but yeah, so hilarious. I mean, it is a good song, and I still love it. Okay, so set on a farm or including farm animals. So the first one that I thought of was Jamie Jo Wright. I knew it was down here somewhere. Ooh, mailman. I love when the mailman comes, and nothing good. No packages or anything. But the first one I thought of was The Premonition at Wither's Farm by Jamie Jo Wright. If you love a good, creepy, atmospheric book, you need to check her books out. So this one's definitely creepy, and I just really, really enjoyed it. So this is the second book I think I read by Jamie Jo Wright, but it's definitely set on a farm, mysterious things happening on that farm. So really enjoyed it. So this definitely is a good book for set on a farm. The next question is I'll Be Home for Christmas, a character trying to get home. That could be honestly a lot of books. Like, there's a lot of books that could count for this. Let's see. This one could definitely work. The Long March Home by Marcus Brotherton and Tosca Lee. This one definitely, it's a very emotional read, and definitely, I mean, it's right in the title, The Long March Home. So definitely 3 characters trying to get home during World War II, I believe, or World War I. World War II, I believe. But yeah, so really, really intense read, but very, very good. And yeah, they're definitely trying to go home, so that one would definitely work. Okay, the next prompt is We Three Kings, a trio of main characters. So kind of funny, but the first book series that I thought of was Nancy Drew. Because, yes, Nancy Drew is the main character, but throughout most of the books, Bess and George are also included in like almost every single book. I don't believe they're in the first book, but throughout the series, they're always her amazing friends and sidekicks, and I just love Bess and George. So Nancy, Bess, and George are definitely a trio. I also think this one might work. There could be more than 3. This could be 4, maybe. Because the Han Solo trilogy, we definitely have, well, that's more than 3 characters, I feel like there's definitely more, so that might not work. I thought I was only thinking of Leia, Han, and Luke, but there's like Lando and Chewbacca, and so I'm like, I don't think that'll work. Came close. I don't know if I have anything physically. You don't see a lot of 3 main characters. You see a lot of 2s. I don't know of a 4-character book. I guess I'll just stick with Nancy Drew series, because I feel like that works. Okay, the next prompt is 12 Days of Christmas, 12 letters in the title. Okay, we're going to start doing research. So to do it on like the books that I haven't read yet, or the books that I have read. I mean, I'm trying to do mostly books that I've actually read. There's been a few that I've showed you that I haven't read yet, but I try to mostly show you ones that I actually have read. Let's see. 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Did I literally just find it on the first try? I did not pause there at all, and I found a 12-word title in the first try. How crazy is that? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Court of Swans by Melanie Dickerson. How insane is that? To actually pick a book on the first try to have 12 letters. What are the odds? Because That's crazy. So yeah, so 12 letters. Okay, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to be here forever. So I mean, if you picked like 30 letters, yeah, we'd be here a while. But 12, apparently, first try. Nice. Okay, so the next prompt is in the bleak of midwinter, set in wintertime / snow. So set in wintertime. I mean, I don't know why I'm looking over here on my book cart, because I mean, well, no, actually, this one could work. Ashes in the Snow by Rudolph. I have read the graphic novel. Have not read the book, though. I do actually want to read it. I just haven't yet. But this is definitely, I mean, Lithuania, Siberia, very cold. I'm guessing winter, but I mean, it could be cold all year long there. But that one definitely winter, snow feeling. That one could work. Anything Christmas themed. I don't have many Christmas books. The one I get the most of is Melody Carlson, because I read a lot of hers. So A Quilt for Christmas by Melody Carlson. This is my favorite of her books, and definitely set during Christmas, because all of her Christmas books are set during Christmas. So winter, it works perfectly. And it's also really good. If you don't like books like heavily set on romance or whatever, pick up this one. It's very good, very much like kind of based around the community and around helping each other, and I really loved this book. There is romance, but it is more of a minor plot than the major plot, so I'm really happy about that. Okay, so the next prompt is Blue Christmas, an all blue cover. All blue. Well, again, another book I haven't read, but Salt to the Sea by Rudolph. This is definitely an all blue cover. Love that blue, actually. Really beautiful. So that's an all blue cover. What else is all blue? I'm looking at my cart that, like, literally, if you just, like, it's a grayscale, but the only color in here, besides gray and white, is blue. So that could work. It's also blue spine. Love that spine. Let's see here. I think this one might be, again, oops, dropping a magnet. Got that on vacation. Not a recent vacation. This one is, but again, not a book that I've read, but Renegade by Marissa Meyer. I loved Lunar Chronicles, so I need to read another book by her, because I have a feeling I'm going to really enjoy this. So I have that one. That's a blue cover. So yeah, I found a bookmark too. Where'd this come from? No. All right, so those are the ones I'm going with. Not technically what I read. This one's all blue, mostly all blue. This one. It's called When Stars Rain Down by Angela Jackson Brown. So I have read this one, and it's mostly blue with a little yellow. So yeah, tons of blue options apparently. All right, the next question is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, a plot that deals with bullying. So I was trying to figure out, I'm like, what does that have to do with Rudolph? Oh yeah, because he gets bullied all the time. Poor Rudolph. I'm going to put that book back. Okay, so I actually have perfect options for this, and I actually have read them. They're just on this cart. And not on my red shelf, apparently. That's okay. Probably because I've tried to put all of my middle grade in one spot. So, oops, there's a sticker on the other book that got stuck. But this one, A Restart by Gordon Corman. Anything that Gordon Corman writes, I feel like has an element of bullying or some form of that in his books. And so I really love this one. It's probably one of my favorite middle grades. I feel like they're really good. They're nice and clean. There might be like one or two very minimal language in them, but there's always a really great message to the story. And I just feel like Gordon Corman does a great job at characters changing for the better. And I really just love that. So this one in Restart, we're following a kid named Chase, and he was a bully, and so he ends up in an accident where he doesn't remember anything, and so he doesn't remember being a bully, and he's wondering why all these kids are afraid of him. Why is he friends with the jocks or whatever? And so it's really great him seeing the perspective of all these students when he has no idea what happened before the accident. And so it's a really great story, and honestly I probably would reread it because it's very, very good. All right, so I'm going to put that back with my middle grades. All right, so the next question is, Hark the Herald Angels Sing, portrayal of the spiritual world. So pretty much any Christian fiction, well, not any, I have to say. If I'm going to be honest, even if you don't read Christian fiction, feel free to go ahead and read it, because honestly, a lot of Christian fiction is actually just clean reads. They won't have any language, they won't have any bedroom scenes, they're just nice without the stuff that we might not want to read. And so, you know, if you pick one up, a lot of times there's not going to have any faith content, maybe very minimum, and very few do. But that's also really nice because if you just want a clean read, you can just pick one of those up. And a lot of people probably think that there's a lot of faith content in Christian books. Not all the time, really, there's not. And so I'm going to try to find the one that I know has a lot of spiritual and faith content because it's one of my favorite books. Okay, so this is my favorite book, one of my favorite books, and that is The Extraordinary Deaths of Mrs. Kipp by Sarah Brunswold. She's one of my author friends. I love her so much. This is her debut novel. She's written a few little things here and there before she was initially published, but this book, it's been on the top of many people's favorites, and kind of funny because a lot of people say it's very slow in the beginning, but then by the end of the book, they find it really, really amazing. And so this is a book that I never thought I would love because it does deal with an older woman who's in hospice, who's pretty much, she's ready to go to heaven. And so we see a girl who gets in trouble at her newspaper, and so she's tasked with writing this older woman's obituary. And so she goes and meets her at the hospice, and what follows is a beautiful story that this lady tells and how she shares her faith with the other patients in the hospice. And she is just such a woman who is filled with faith and filled with such a Christ-like attitude. And it's just so beautiful to see how much she changed, how much love she has for other people, and it's just absolutely amazing and such a great read. So this definitely works for that prompt. Okay, the next prompt is, it's the most wonderful time of the year, a story that manipulates time in some way. I'm going to say it. If you've been around here a while, this is one of my favorite series. It's actually a lot of people's favorite series. And if you didn't know, books 3 and 4 are coming out next year, and book 5 is coming out the following year. Which I'm very happy there's going to be at least 5 in the series. And that is the Timeless series by Gabrielle Meyer. These books are absolutely amazing. If you love time travel and romance and just really, really great storytelling, check out this series. They are amazing. So in these books, we're following women who, in their lineage, it goes from each generation, the women in their lineage have this ability where they live in different timelines. So they wake up one day in one timeline, then they wake up the next day in a different timeline, but it's the same day. Like you wake up February 12th in 1912, and then the next day you wake up on February 12th in 1765, something like that. Not exact dates, but you get the drift. So I really love these. I think they're amazing. They're beautifully storytelling, and I'm just so happy that she has the chance to write so many books in the series because I could read them all. If there was 20 books in the series, which honestly there really could be, because we're following characters that go on in each era. So it's like these could go on forever, and I would be okay with it. So manipulates time 100%. Oh, and by the age of 21, they either get to pick what timeline they get to stay in, or God chooses for them and they're stuck in a timeline. So really, really great. And the last question is Carol of the Bells, a plot where music is the key element. So I immediately thought of one that I absolutely love, and that is The Lost Melody by Joanna Davidson Politano. And this was my introduction to her. Why I have not read anything else by her yet, I don't know. Don't ask me, because this is one of my absolute favorite books. And let me tell you this is the very first book that's ever done this to me, where I'm reading it and I'm thinking, the music in here is just so well written. I'm just like, I really need to read or listen to piano music while I'm reading this. I've never intentionally went out of my way to pick music based on a book. Never in my life. And that's what did it in this book. And it's beautiful. It's very, very kind of got that gothic, creepy feeling again, because this one has to do with a girl who her father passes away, and she somehow ends up finding out that her father was paying money to an asylum to take care of someone. She has no idea who this someone is. So she ends up going there to try to figure it out, and she ends up being committed into the asylum. And so it's really good, and I really loved it. And this is definitely a book that I would reread in a heartbeat, and I'm actually going to be hopefully being able to meet her next year. So I want to read her entire backlist before I meet her. But I'm just very, very happy that this book is such a good book. All right, so those are all the questions for the Carol of the Books tag. And I don't know who to tag because I know a lot of people have already done this tag. So I don't know. If you haven't done it, please consider yourself tagged. Tag me in the video so I can go ahead and watch it. I would love to see it. Don't forget to follow my friend Holly. I will link her channel down in the description box. But I just love this tag. It was so much fun. I loved the very different questions that I really loved based on Christmas carols. All right, so I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all in the next video.